Yo, what's up guys? You got PokeaimMD here with another competitive Pokemon Sun and Moon Moveset video guide analysis, whatever you want to call it. This time we're going to be talking about Toucannon. Now before we get into this video, I just want to say there's a playlist down below in the description. I encourage you to check that out with all the other Pokemon that I've covered so far. Also, feel free to check out my links to Twitter and Twitch. Those are in the description. I encourage you to follow me on those just to keep up to date with me, also to know when I stream. Now, Toucannon is the normal and flying type, the standard bird for every single generation. We've had Staraptor, we've had Swallow, we've had Pidgeot, we've also had Talonflame, which is pretty cool. But now we have Toucannon, Pikipek's evolution. So Toucannon is pretty decent all around. Base 120 attack, really high attack, decent base 80 HP, and then average base 75 defenses and really low base 60 speed. However, it has a really unique move pool as well as two decent abilities. I mean, Keen Eye doesn't really matter too much in competitive, but Skill Link allows your multi-hits to always hit 5 times, and he has Bullet Seed and Rock Blast, also Fury Attack in-game if you want that, and Sheer Force, which powers up moves with secondary effects. So the first set we're going to be talking about is the Bird Cinccino set, or Cinccino, whatever you want to call it. It is a skill link abusing set, a Swords Dance set. Now I have a King's Rock on this set because with Bullet Seed and Rock Blast hitting 5 times, that's about a 41% chance, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, to flinch your opponent down. So this set can actually be used as a stall breaker set in whatever tier you're playing, whether it be OU, NU, which I'm thinking this bird is going to be an NU. Usually the birds are NU, RU material. Normal flying is never bad coverage, especially on this Pokemon where it has grass and rock as well. Grass helping it deal with ground types and rock types, and then Rock Blast just being pretty solid coverage for opposing flying types, for fire types. So I think this Pokemon's going to be RU or NU, and but this set in particular can work in any tier. So it's an SD skill link set with Bullet Seed and Rock Blast, giving it the chance to flinch. Obviously, Brave Bird also has a chance to flinch because King's Rock gives every move that doesn't already have a flinch chance, a 10% chance to flinch. So it's Swords Dance, Bullet Seed, Rock Blast, and Brave Bird. I go Jolly Natured. If you're using it in OU, I would definitely use Jolly Natured because this allows you to outspeed Landorus, Therian Form, Defensive Landorus, as well as Pokemon such as Rotom Wash that might want to speed creep, and even Tapu Fini that might want to speed creep. The only reason I say that you can use this in OU is because with King's Rock, it has the ability, like I said, to beat stall. I'll show you a calc right now. That's some people we have. This is +2. This is +2 Rock Blast versus physically defensive Skarmory. If it's on a stall team, it does 44 to 53%. Skarmory on a stall team has to run Shed Shell, otherwise Magnezone just traps them, and Pokemon like Mega Pinsir just wreck stall. So you're doing 44 to 53% to physically defensive Skarmory, and then if you put Spadef Skarmory, it's an easy 2-hit KO, 58 to 68%. Celesteela, same thing. Celesteela is 2-hit KO'd by +2. If it's just specially defensive, Celesteela is 2-hit KO'd by +2 Rock Blast, and also it has roughly a 59% chance to break through, and Heavy Slam isn't knocking you out, neither is Flamethrower. So that's just the idea of that. You can also use it, like I said, in lower tiers, which is a tier that I feel it'd be it's going to be used in lower tiers like RU and NU, so you can use this to break through Alomola, those Alomola, maybe Quagsire cores. Not that Quagsire is not going to be OU, but you know that Pokemon likes to drop wherever the hell it feels like. So this could be like a sort of stall breaker. If you don't want to use King's Rock, you can use FlyEMZ. I mentioned that in the other options, but FlyEMZ is also a potential option for this Pokemon, or even Leftovers or Life Orb. But I like King's Rock because, I mean, why not try and flinch down my opponent to death? I'm not saying go for the hacks, but I feel like on this Pokemon, one of its niches is that it can be a cool stall breaker in OU, so, or any tier that it's played in. So I really like the idea of running King's Rock on this Pokemon. That's why it's called Bird Cinccino, because Cinccino has Tail Slap, Bullet Seed, Rock Blast, and runs that with King's Rock sometimes. So next up we have Mixed. It does have Overheat in its arsenal, which is really nice for Pokemon that are obviously 4 times weak to fire. I'm talking about Scizor, Ferrothorn, just being able to have a coverage move to deal with them, or even steel types in general, depending on what tier you're playing, like doing a lot, like pretty much a 2-hit KO on Steelix if they're not running Spadef. So it's just a Life Orb mix attacker with Naive. I like maxing out its speed just because I feel like it's better to max out a speed on a Pokemon like this that relies on getting off attacks than risk your opponent being faster than you. Even if they're bulkier Pokemon, most bulkier Pokemon you're going to be faster than anyway. Golem, Alamola, Steelix, all of them you're going to be faster than them. But it's just Brave Bird, Bullet Seed, Rock Blast, and Overheat with Life Orb and Skill Link. Again, Overheat's just there to be able to punish those Steel types which otherwise come in on every single one of your attacks, your Brave Bird, Stab, your Bullet Seed, or your Rock Blast. The cool thing is about Rock Blast, again, this Pokemon has a niche that it can be ran in OU as well. Though I'm thinking about it in an NU or RU perspective, but it can be ran in OU because Rock Blast, Life Orb Rock Blast is knocking out Zapdos 100% after rocks, and you're faster than defensive Zapdos anyway, since they don't run too much speed. But if they are running speed, be careful. But and Overheat helps you deal with Scizor, Ferrothorn, Skarmory. Skarmory doesn't appreciate Rock Blast plus Overheat if it's physically defensive anyway. So next up we have a choice set. This can either run Choice Band or Choice Scarf. Toucannon does have U-Turn in its arsenal, which does make it a pretty decent choice user, I believe. Again, Choice Scarf is going to be pretty slow, but Choice Band does hit incredibly powerful. You can also run Adamant on Choice Band, but I already mentioned that I like the ability to actually outspeed your opponent, not really risking anything. So this set runs Brave Bird. Bullet Seed is there to be able to deal with rock types as well as bulky waters. The next set, or the next move, is either U-Turn or Brick Break. U-Turn, again, giving you momentum, but Brick Break allows you to hit Steel types. So that's also an option, as well as rock types, though Bullet Seed obviously deals with that. And I kind of like U-Turn just for momentum. That way you can bring in a partner to be able to deal with those mentioned Steel types. And then last move is either Rock Blast or Return. Return gives you normal stab, which allows you to hit electric types, whereas Rock Blast allows you to hit fire types as well as flying types. So that really is up to you. Toucannon, I think the only two moves it really needs is Brave Bird and Bullet Seed, and then after that, it's up to you what you want to run. U-Turn is good for momentum, as mentioned, and then Rock Blast is good for those types, but maybe your opponent has an electric type left and you're faster than them and you want Return. I would definitely run Return on a Choice Scarf set, as you do outspeed Pokemon such as a Alolan Raichu, so Return allows you to damage those, assuming Alolan Raichu is going to be, RU, UU material. But maybe NU, RU, UU material. But that's just me assuming. I can't know where the tiers are going to be placed. It's all based on usage. But Return allows you to deal with those electric types, but Rock Blast just lets you hit flying types as well as fire types, like Tortinator, flying types like Opposing Birds. Be careful though, because again, even if you're Choice Scarf, you're not going to outspeed too much. You only hit 360 speed, whereas Choice Band just hits incredibly hard. So this is a Wannabe Braviary set we have here. We already know that Toucannon does have. Swords Dance in its arsenal. Keen Eye is actually used because there's no other ability that actually boosts this set. Like Skill Link doesn't matter and Sheer Force doesn't matter. So this is a more bulkier set. Now this spread is actually really crazy, and I'm not gonna lie, you can just use max attack, max speed if you want. Just because Toucannon is bulky enough to live Scalds from Alamola, which is a Pokemon that I feel like will be in the same tier as Toucannon anyway. So it's bulky enough to live Scalds from Alamola, so you can sub up on that. But this spread was particularly made so you can sub up on Lantern. The 248 HP, 116 speed def, 108 speed. 108 speed allows you to outspeed most forms of Lantern. 116 speed def and 248 HP allow you to allow your Scald to never be broken by defensive Lanterns. Allow your sub to never be broken by defensive Lantern Scald. And Volt Switch on Roosting, you lose Flying type, so Volt Switch only does 18 to 21%. So you still keep your sub up versus Lantern, as well as Alamola is not breaking your sub with anyone hit, and you dodge Toxics. So that is an option that you can run. Alternatively, you don't lose anything by running. You don't lose anything by running just max speed, max attack, because Alamola can't break your sub anyway, and this is something that can set up on it. It's called Wannabe Braviary because sub bulk up Braviary does the exact same thing, except sub bulk up is a little bit better because it boosts your defense as well. But Toucannon can very easily run just max speed, max attack. I thought the Lantern Tout was cool because I'm pretty sure Lantern's going to be in this tier, or wherever tier that Toucannon ends up on. But You can very easily run this sub SD set. You could even run Return over Brave Bird. Brave Bird obviously gives you flying stab. Return though lets you hit everything else outside of like steel types, rock types, and ghost. But Brave Bird obviously gives you that coverage over ghost types. But you lose out on electric types like Lantern. And +2, if you're actually running +2 return versus like on just this set versus Alamola, it does a little bit less than Brave Bird obviously, but +2 Brave Bird does 58 to 68% to defensive Alamola, so it's really strong. But return does about the same anyway, so it's a really strong mod. Like I said, you can very easily run just Jolly, max attack, max speed. But I like that spread. I've tested a spread like that just because I was playing versus Lanterns in the tier, and I like the way it worked. It also helped me out, though I doubt Suicune is going to stay in the tier. I really doubt Suicune's going to stay in the tier, and Suicune is incredibly strong compared to everything else attacking. So there was no way, unless I put like max Spadef, max HP, that I was going to be able to take a Scald from Suicune, and at the same time I still don't have the speed to outspeed Suicune. So there was no point in running that calc, and I don't believe Suicune's going to be in the tier for that much longer. It's only RU Alpha, so I doubt it's going to be RE. It's going to be UU or higher. But it's just the Wannabe Braviary set. Next up, we have a special set. Now, Toucannon does have a pretty decent special attack stat, base 75. That is the same as Swallow got this generation, and Swallow's Boom Burst hits incredibly hard. This generation is actually getting 2 KOs, being able to knock out Pokemon like Entei 100% after Stealth Rock, which is something it couldn't do before because it was just so much weaker. But Toucannon does have the Sheer Force ability, which unfortunately doesn't boost Boom Burst or Overheat, but it does boost Flash Cannon, which is very important on a bird, especially a special bird, since that's something that does have over Swallow. Swallow has Boom Burst, Heat Wave, maybe Air Slash in its arsenal. Hurricane, though, I don't think Hurricane plus Boom Burst is legal. It's something like that, or Hurricane plus Heat Wave is legal on Swallow, something like that. I'm not entirely sure how it works, but Toucannon does have Flash Cannon in his arsenal, which is boosted by Sheer Force, and that allows it to break through even the tankiest Pokemon like Eviolite, Tank Rhydon, which I'm pretty sure is going to be in its tier as well. Flash Cannon with a Sheer Force boost does 53 to 62%. That is a solid 2-hit KO. It's also solid 2-hit KOing Pokemon such as Regirock. Regirock is being 2-hit KO'd by Flash Cannon. Regirock is being 2-hit KO'd by Flash Cannon. Obviously, for a Pokemon like Regice, Flash Cannon does the exact same thing as Boom Burst, but Overheat does more. But I mean, Overheat doesn't matter at all in this case, because you're gonna get the drop anyway. But the idea of this set is Boom Burst your opponent, Flash Cannon the rock types like Regirock that I'm pretty sure are gonna be the tier, Overheat the steel types, and then you turn it out of there to get in your partners. I think it can very well run a special set, especially because Swallow can do it. Obviously, Swallow does have that speed over Toucannon, but Toucannon does have the ability to break through rock types that Swallow normally can't. So, next up, we have the other options. I mentioned PokeaimMD on like a Swords Dance set. Beak Blast, I played around with it. It's really cool. If you guys don't understand how Beak Blast works, basically think of Focus Punch, how it charges at the beginning of the turn, and then at the end of the turn it comes off if your opponent doesn't hit you, whereas Beak Blast comes off no matter what, like even if your opponent hits you. But if your opponent goes for a physical attack, they will be burnt when they do that, and it's 100 base power physical flying type attack. So it's a pretty cool move. If you guys actually use Rest Talk Toucannon, that's a set I was testing, Rest Toucannon. If you click Beak Blast while you're sleeping, you'll still get the little animation, and if your opponent attacks you with a physical attack, they will get burnt through sleep. So I thought that was really cool. Obviously, your attack won't go off because you're sleeping, but that can be used with like Rest. It can be used on like a subset. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like Focus Punch, whereas if you're behind a sub and they touch you, they're not going to get burnt. Whereas Focus Punch, obviously, if they're behind a sub, they don't count as touching you, and you can Focus Punch up. But unfortunately, it would have been really cool, I think, if the sub, when you went for Beak Blast and they touched the sub, they got burnt. But it's still a cool move. I think you can run on Toucannon, like a Stall Breaker set, or maybe like if your opponent has like a Scizor and they want to go for Bullet Punch or something like that, Beak Blast, they Bullet Punch you, and they get burnt. Though I doubt Scizor would be in the same tier as Toucannon. Drill Peck is an option over Brave Bird. It is weaker, but you don't lose any recoil. Flame Charge is cool. Maybe like on a Flame Charge Swords Dance PokeaimMD set, can boost its own speed. And then Tailwind is an option to boost the speed of your teammates, as well as Toucannon, double its speed for 4 turns. A few teammates. Lantern works pretty well. Lantern taking the electric type attacks aimed at Toucannon, and also taking the ice type attacks aimed at Toucannon. Likewise, Toucannon can take the grass type attacks aimed at Lantern, as well as avoid the ground type attacks. Golem is cool because if you actually run Magnet Pull, you can trap certain steel types. Maybe like Steelix or whatnot. If they're not running Roar. Magnet Rise, you can Earthquake them. They'll be careful. Heavy Slam's going to be doing damage. But just being able to trap steel types in general, or even just being able to, like, even bulkier steel types, Golem can end up trapping, and it appreciates also the resistance to electric. Rhydon is a very, very solid partner, not only getting up rocks for Toucannon, but also avoiding electric type attacks. It's just a tank with a Violite, and just being able to plow through the rock types, the steel types that Toucannon doesn't really like to deal with. Bruxish, likewise, appreciates Toucannon's ability just to break through grass types. Obviously, Psychic Fangs can do it if you're running a Swords Dance set, but if you're running like a Choice Band Bruxish, Toucannon appreciates also the fact that Bruxish does resist the ice type attacks aimed at it, as well as the fact that Toucannon does take the grass type attacks aimed at Bruxish and can set up on those. Mudsdale defensively can check the electric type attacks aimed at Toucannon, as well as the rock type attacks. You can go for Earthquake and Phase if you have Spikes. Spikes are definitely really cool. And Lone Duck Drill, which is something that I'm pretty sure is going to be somewhere in the tier where Toucannon is, also works with Toucannon pretty well, considering it resists it is immune to electric. It resists rock, and can give those steel types and rock types trouble with its dual stab. But in any case, thank you everybody for watching. Hope you learned something. Of course, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, do your thing. I'll see you guys next time or later with the showcase. And yeah, follow me on Twitch and Twitter. Those links are down below. Goodbye, friends.